Right then, this is a quick walk around video for a really lovely Honda Civic. This is a 1.4 Sport, 2016 car. Car's covered just 37,000 miles. Finished in white, which always looks good on these with the facelift, black inserts, black alloys, privacy and diffuser. It's a lovely looking car, this one, and it's in fantastic condition. Go around the car for you. Front, very clean. Lights and lenses are clear and intact. No cracks or condensation there. Bonnet, very clean indeed. Any stone chips, minor. Near side of the car, lovely and smooth down the panel work, really crisp. So the sun's getting a bit low, so I'm sort of scuttling around a bit, but it's so clean it doesn't really matter too much. Come around the back, get the new star rear end, back diffuser, smoke glass. All looks absolutely superb on the car. The offside, driver's side, and lovely and smooth down the panels, really crisp. But for what's coming up to 10-year-old car, it really is in very nice condition, notwithstanding the odd minor age-related mark. Coming to the boot area now, absolutely cavernous boot. It's been kept very nicely. Coming into the back, business end of the Civics, which is where the kids sit, so it can be heavily used, yet this one hasn't. It's been kept very nicely. Let's come to the passenger side front, and all very clean and tidy. Passenger seat, again, in superb condition. Finally, driver's door card, again, very clean. There is a full set of Honda mats for the car, which I've forgotten to put in, so I do apologise, but they do come with the car and they're in very nice condition. So inside the car now, engine's running as always, so the dash is illuminated. Best dash in class by a mile, it really is. Radio and information screen working exactly as it should. Pop the car into reverse with that lovely clear parking camera, and that complements front and rear parking sensors. Coming down, just been kept absolutely beautifully. Quickly just show you there, 37,188 miles. The only light on, by the way, warning light as such, is for low fuel, but obviously a bit of fuel will soon extinguish that. That is the view you get as a driver in a Honda Civic. Absolutely stunning. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual, pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.4 Sport. Car's registered FV16UXW, and mileage at the start of the road test is 37,188 miles. The reason we do these videos is very simple indeed. It's especially this road test section. It's just to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of the cars we're selling, they get to see that very car actually in operation. Unfortunately, like lots of people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs or description, only to get there and find out when you drive it's actually got a fundamental fault that shows up very easily, and that can be really annoying if you've travelled any kind of distance to see a car. We also do it on these very quiet country roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire. It is a little bit late in the day, so I do apologise, it may get a little bit dark and grainy, but I'm trying to squeeze them in as best I possibly can at the moment, and the weather's beating me as it generally does. This actually forms part of the road test route, by the way, we take our customers on, and the hope is, of course, it will be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you go on a drive in the car. So coming to the car, with such a low mileage and being a Honda, you'd expect it to drive rather nicely, and it drives pretty much as new, which is a horrible cliche, but it is well deserved in this case. Twist the key, engine starts instantly and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car for that matter. Temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda car. Honda, without doubt, make the best four-cylinder engines in the world, and for lots of reasons. The ones that most people know about are they're the toughest, most reliable engines in their class by a long way. They're cam chain driven, so there's no cam belts to have to change or do on the car. But more than that, it's just how it drives. You know, it might only be a 1.4, but it pulls well. But it has a kind of mechanical sophistication that is bred into Honda. It's such a sweet-natured, docile, tractable, economical engine. But when you do put your foot down, you're met with a muted intake snarl, which, you know, comes from a proper engineering company. It doesn't get sort of harsh or thrashy as some of its competitors definitely get. The engine then feeds through into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch of the car is absolutely perfect, bite point exactly where it's meant to be. It's lovely and smooth in operation. The gearbox itself is absolutely superb. It's that's just the parking sensors, by the way, just close to the side. They'll hopefully stop beeping once I move away. At least you know they work. But the gearbox itself, yeah, it's an absolute class act. Short and throw, it's got a meaty mechanical engineered feel to it as well. So when you change gears, just got that satisfying solid engagement. There's the wife and the daughter. And that gearbox feels exactly as it would when it was new, just zero wear in it. But it's all about that, you know, when you get into Honda, you know you're driving something well engineered. Everything feels beautifully slick in the way they operate. Moving on to the steering and chassis, which has always been my favourite part of the Civics. The steering is pretty much perfect for this type of car. It's nicely weighted. It's not over light. Obviously it's light because it's power steering, but it's not over light where it just feels completely devoid of any kind of feel. Some cars feel like you're driving like a PlayStation game where you just turn but you don't feel connected to the road at all. This very much does. And the steering's beautifully done. It's absolutely pinpoint accurate. It's quick without being oversensitive, and it never ever feels nervous in any way, the car. It also, by the way, tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed, or any speed actually up to the legal limit. You know, these are ultimately, you know, this is a family car, let's, you know, be brutally honest with you, so it's not an out and out sports car. So its design criteria is actually to get you and your family from A to B very comfortably, which it does brilliantly. The ride is beautifully damped, very well judged. But when you do go through corners like that, it sits really flat and it flows through corners, and that's design genius. It's quite often overlooked. It's very hard to get a ride as good as this and to have the handling as tidy and as resolved as this is. I mean, it is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Also worth pointing out, there's absolutely no clonks, rattles, anything from underneath the vehicle. It feels tight as a drum, as I said. Brakes on the car are superb, really powerful, meaty brake pedal. There's no pulsing or vibration coming back through the brake pedal, which is what you don't want to feel. And then finally coming inside, the one thing a video can never get across to you, of course, is how well built a car is. You kind of have to take it on face value, but these are beautifully put together cars. You know, nearly 10 years old, not a squeak or a rattle. All the textured materials really nicely selected for the car. They're very high quality indeed. But and it is the only thing that's really opinion based in this car, the video. I love this dash design. I just think it's absolute genius, because it's not only pleasing on the eye, which is, you know, it is a personal opinion, but it works brilliantly ergonomically. The most conventional part is this center stack here. So you've got your radio and information display up here with your reverse camera. Down below that you've got a dual zone climate control system, so you can have different temperatures on either side, and that pumps out lovely cold air, because we tried it in a nice warm workshop earlier on. But then in front of me is my favourite part, this two-tier design, because as you drive it all just makes sense. The upper deck is the information you're going to look at most regularly, so it's the ones where you don't want to take your eyes off the road if you possibly help it. So you've got an information display panel, so if you change things like radio station or fan speeds, it'll go up there as well. But the one you want to look at most regularly is your speed, and there it is, clear as day, white on black digital display, So I can look at the cars coming in towards me now, pedestrians, whatever happens to be, but I can see my speed instantly without taking my eyes off the road, and I think that's just simply brilliant. Down below that, you've got more conventional podded dials, big rev counter in the middle, flanked either side by the temperature and fuel gauges. It makes in lovely condition in here as well, by the way. It is a superb car. I cannot fault it in any way.